Well, Governor Newsom making one last campaign stop this afternoon in San Francisco, and we haven't seen him since then.
Yeah, he's hard to track today after being on the stage for so long. CBS 13's Steve Large joins us now with more. Steve, what's he up to tonight, you think?
Yeah, well, we are now outside the governor's mansion here. The governor doesn't live here, of course. He moved out of the mansion in the first couple of weeks after coming into office here. We were thinking, could he possibly show up here? We've seen some security, but certainly nothing that would indicate for sure that there was any plans for an event tonight. We do know his campaign says that he will be in Sacramento and he will appear before cameras sometime after the 8 o'clock hour. Want to show you some video of him earlier today. This was in San Francisco, his last public appearance that we know of so far today, where he was speaking to union members. And one thing about this recall, of course, it's the second in the state's history, but it's the first time we've had a recall in a pandemic. So you have to factor that all in when thinking about what would tonight look like for the governor. You wouldn't anticipate he would have a crowd inside a building waiting and watching as returns come in during this pandemic. So also listen to what he says here. He catches himself. If he ends up defeating this recall, he wanted to make sure he didn't call it a victory. Listen in.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Are we going to win this? Well, let me start again. Are we going to defeat this recall? How are you guys feeling? You feeling good? I appreciate each and every one of you. Why don't we take a seat, because we got a lot of work to do. We got 8 more hours in this campaign.
All right, I thought that was interesting. He caught himself right there, stopped himself mid-sentence. Didn't want to talk about a win, didn't want to talk about a victory, because really all this would be for him, if you look at it in that context, is continuing on with the job that he was elected for. So a couple of factors working their way into a decision-making on how it will look tonight for the governor as those first numbers come in at 8 o'clock. Not going to see a lot of fanfare, not a lot of crowd. We are expecting the governor to speak on camera after those first numbers come in, sometime probably in that first hour after 8 o'clock, guys.
All right, it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. Thanks, Steve.